While browsing the website of a prominent UK supplier, that's CPC, I noticed that they had some unusual dichroic LED bulbs, which were only rated 1.8 watts, but were available in a selection of colours. So I chose the blue one because that gives you more information about the LEDs, because you can literally look down into the LEDs because they have no phosphor on them. And initially, I thought this was just going to be a rehash of the first style of GU10 LED, which had a capacitive dropper and then just standard 5mm LEDs, but it's not. It's based on modern circuitry. So before we go any further, let's bring in the test equipment and we'll check the power rating of this if it does tally up at 1.8 watts, and then we'll take a much closer look at the circuit board. I'll just set that up right now. So here is the anti-power tester. Here is another of these shady Chinese lamp testing boxes as designed for use in factories, and I've chosen this one because it does actually have a GU10 holder in it. So I'm going to screw this in, turn it on, and there'll be a whoosh of blue light. And it is showing 1.9 watts, which is pretty close to 1.8 watts. That's not bad. Power factor is 0.6, which is typical for the type of circuitry involved. Current 13 milliamps. Okay, watch your eyes, the light is about to come back. And the light is back. Oh, incidentally, there was a little cover over the front of this. The first thing I did when it arrived was get the spudger into it and pop it off. This tester is notable for having the little speaker connectors as usual, but also allowing you to put 12-volt MR16 bulbs in straight across 240 volts. I guess they must use the MR16 bi-pin system for some 240-volt lamps. Never seen them. There's also a little sticker over here suggesting, and the shape underneath it suggests that this is available, little digital meter as well. But anyway, I digress. Let me take a picture of this and then we'll explore the circuitry. One moment, please. Reverse engineering is complete. Let's explore. It's not a complicated circuit. The most interesting thing is the triple multi-cluster LEDs, but we'll take a closer look at those in a moment. So the circuitry, I could actually zoom down further onto this because there is quite a large border around this. I shall zoom in right now. That looks better. So here is the supply coming on from the back, and if we look through the glass here, we can see there's one wire, little white wire coming up there, and there's the sleeved resistor. The resistor is a 33 ohm resistor, and it's marked F1. It's a fusible resistor. It acts as a inrush limiter, and also it will go kaboom in a controlled manner when things go horribly wrong in the circuit board. Also tucked in the back there is a little dinky death beam capacitor. It's a 1 microfarad capacitor and it's plugged into here. So what happens is the supply comes on via that fusible resistor in the supply and it goes straight to the bridge rectifier. It comes out and goes straight over to the smoothing capacitor, and then across that, and it's nice they've done this, they've got two resistors, 560k in series as a slight load, and that's to stop the LEDs from ghosting with the capacitive coupling through switch wiring, because the LEDs are ultra sensitive. They will just glow if you look at them. They're that sensitive. Microamps is all it takes. Here's the string of LEDs. The positive starts at this end and goes through all the LEDs and comes over to here and then goes over to the current regulator chip. It's a linear regulator chip. It basically just acts as like a variable resistor, but it monitors current and adjusts itself accordingly. And also has the facility that if it gets too hot, it will potentially self-regulate further and it will dim the light down just a little bit just to control the temperature. It has the negative connection, and it's also got the sense resistor, which in this case 1200, that means 120 with 0 as a decimal multiplier, so it's just 120, it's 120 ohms, but they've got the option of putting that other resistor in there for that. This is actually a dual regulator chip, but it's just cheaper just to use one half of it. They could have used the other half as well, but they didn't. The LEDs themselves are the most interesting bit because there's only 5 of them, and yet each one has a forward voltage of 50 volts, which is quite high. And I did try zooming in. I did my best here, but this is all we're going to get. Inside that, and I'll zoom down even further for this, inside that classic 2835, what do they even call it here? Do they actually say that on the circuit board? Not really. Okay. But inside, they've got 3 multi-LED chips. Each one has 6 areas on it, giving effectively 6 LEDs. So between the three of them, that's 18 LEDs per chip. And the 4 voltage at the current they're running them is typically 2.7 volts, and that adds up to about 49 volts, or just under 50 volts per LED. Here's the bond from this connection going on to one end of this LED array, going through them, jumping over to the next LED, going through them, jumping over to here, going through them, and then onto this electrode here. That means there's quite a high voltage between the back plane of this LED effectively and the connection onto it. Interesting. So let me zoom back out again and I shall show you the schematic. And there are no surprises at all. This is such a common circuit these days. The main advantage of these over the LED lamps, remember that phase they went through? They had little buck regulators in them and they used to create lots of RF noise. They just jammed radio signals for miles. These are virtually electrically silent. The radio hams can confirm this. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below regarding any tests you've done on these lights, but really it is a linear regulator. There shouldn't be much in the way of noise. So here's the incoming AC supply, live and neutral. It could be either way around because it's a not polarized connector. There's the 33 ohm fusible resistor. There's the bridge rectifier. There's the little dinky 1 microfarad 400 volt death beam capacitor. That's not going to be killing any babies anytime soon. And well, not unless they touch it while it's powered. And then you get the 2 load resistors, 560k in series to give, well, 1.2 megohm, which is a decent little load just to prevent that ghost growing. Then we've got the 5 LEDs. Each contains 18 chips, giving a total of about 250 volts. The whole lot of LEDs. It would be different, obviously, in America and other 120 volt countries. They just adjust the number of chips in each LED. And there is the regulator with its sense resistor. And the current through the LEDs is effectively flowing through that sense resistor. And when it reaches a voltage of about 0.6 volts, 0.6 volts across that, it regulates back. It increases its effective resistance in there using the transistor arrangement inside. And that just regulates it nice to a nice linear current flow. And any voltage dropped across this chip is just dissipated as heat into the same plane as the LEDs. There's no major heat sink in this. It's not like the lamps with the, this is a terrible example because this is one of these. Okay, that was a terrible example. But it's not like the lamps with the aluminium shell inside the plastic. This one is just the glass and dichroic, so there's not a lot of heat dissipation from it, and that's ultimately why it's limited in its power output. But you know, 1.8 watts is ample for blue light. That's tons of output for just a decorative light. It does mention the box. It says, where does it say it? It says, for decorative purposes only. That's their way of saying if you light your house with this and trip and fall flat in your face, that's your tough crap there. That's the little liability disclaimer. But that is it. It's a neat little lamp. It's got that nice retro feel to it of these the first lamps that were... Actually, they ran the LEDs at super low current and they lasted for ages, the first lamps. The new ones absolutely grill them. The first lamps only rated about 1 watt. But these ones are rated a bit higher, but the circuitry is so nice and simple, it's quite good. But there we have it. The Pro-Elec, is it Pro-Elec? Pro-Light. Multicolour option decorative lights. Nice, simple circuitry.